Just finished another 45 minutes of meditation. And, it's really interesting. It's not about this meditation, it's not about the meditation per se, but, you know, so far, this is like the second time I am recording about my meditation experience. And it's really funny. The same thing happens again where right before I'm about to press record, there's always so much fear and so much self-talk of, oh my God, what am I going to say? And oh my God, if I put this, if I say something on camera, if I say something um, on tape, then I'm going to be held accountable forever and ever. And there's that fear of, no, I don't think I'm going to do that, or that I think I need to be more prepared to figure out what I'm going to say and then say it, because then it's more manageable, and I can, you know, make sure that it's done right. But anyway, but after press record, it's like it just is. It just is. So the meditation today, it's really interesting. Again, the practice is to sort of feel the heart, um, see where it is, and then sort of feel the body and see where the body is, and allow the body sort of to communicate with the mind, and allow the mind to sort of describe what the body is feeling, or translate that into words, sentences. Usually it comes out to fear, or that's the place where I am right now, is actually very consciously um, translating uh, what feels like tightness and fear in the body, in my mind, and send that to the heart. And so that's sort of the conscious practice today. And interestingly, today, the heart is very much physiological for me. Like, the heart is just the human heart. Yesterday I spoke about the heart being light, and I think the word I was trying to find was gossamer. So, like light with gossamer wings, um, luminescent. And today it's just bam, right there. It's soft, it's vulnerable, it's flesh and blood. It's, you know, a real heart with like 4 chambers in it and pumping blood, and just very, very physiological. And I think the reason being that today is the first day of my period, and I feel it in my lower stomach so much, in the pelvic region so much, that you know I'm I'm feeling particularly physical and physiological today. Like today, I just could feel it. So I let the mind begin to sort of, okay, what's going on? And of course, the mind immediately went to my pelvic area, because that's where I'm having cramps. And I started to go into, to feeling the cramps and sort of the vulnerability in that area. And this is the week of the period is always a time where, you know, the label of, or also the fact of being a woman comes, straight up in the forefront, where this what makes me a woman, female. And I was feeling into really the vulnerability of it and feeling sort of um, the pain body of it, the pain body of being female and what it means uh, to be female. And sort of, I felt I was translating that vulnerability. It's like I started to talk to my heart and sort of allow that sadness also to come through of what it feels like. I don't even know what it means, but what it feels like to carry that female pain body. It's like crying to my heart about feeling like I need to be a man to survive in this world. That being female isn't enough. That, I am not enough. It's not enough just um, being compassionate, being a voice for emotions and vulnerabilities and the feminine divine. It's like beyond that, I also need to be strength and power and everything that a man can be, to feel like I'm worthy. And so I was sort of just getting in touch with that. I don't want to get into the content too much. I feel like that's really not what I want to talk about. Because I can go on forever talking about content, but the process was to send all of that. It's like the imagery of me crying to um, the Mother Mary of the heart came up. So that's kind of what I did, was to just feel um, sort of the vulnerability, the shakiness, the softness, and also the sadness, the complaints of that pelvic area. Sending those thoughts to my mind, and then the mind sort of um, giving a voice to that, and sort of sending that to the heart and crying to the heart. And this time, it's interesting. Like it just, the heart really remained as a physiological entity, as in it's in my mind's eye, really, really, really is the heart with muscles and flesh and blood, and even the colorations of it. And I could visualize it beating as a real heart. And the imagery that I received this time was of mother whale and baby whale just swimming in the ocean, just moving. They're in motion, just moving in the ocean. Um, with there are no words attached to that. It's just an imagery of a whale, a mother whale, and a baby whale swimming in the ocean. It's peaceful, serene, no words. And I think I saw that, and then I started to interpret it, and then I said, that feels so lonely. You know, where's the daddy whale? Where's the community? That imagery seems so lonely. And the scene sort of shifted, and I got the imagery of just this huge rock concert. It's a huge shift. I mean, I wish I could say, really, really, I wish I could say that my heart showed me suddenly, you know, a entire, I don't know what you call a group of whale. I'm sure it's not like a school of fish, but like an entire, like the entire village of the mother whale showed up to support her. I really wish I could say that so that the story is consistent, but it didn't happen that way. In the meditation, what came up was, at least energetically, it got translated into sort of like a rock concert where, you know, sometimes um, the performer and the crowd would be so heated that the performer can just, you know, fall back into the crowd, like either jump right in the crowd or fall back in the crowd, and just the crowd would know to carry the performer. That's the imagery that I got. And it's like, yeah, when I fall, as in when I actually uh, move forward and do what I want to do, the crowd will automatically show up, like support will automatically show up, because I was tuning into my knees. My knees had been sort of injured through running and yoga, and it's resting right now, but it's still, you know, it's still sore, and it's or they're still very sensitive, and I could feel in meditation the pain and sensitivity comes up, and I was tuning into it and feeling just so unsupported, like if I were the mother whale and taking care of the baby whale, like it feels so unsupported in my knees, like, oh my gosh, I have to carry all of this on my own. And I think the imagery sort of have shown me that energetically, you know, when I fall into the dream, when I leap, when I jump, the support will be there. It's when that I don't jump, it's when that I don't leap, and that I don't um, follow that next step. It is those times that I am efforting to keep myself where I am. And that's quite true, because I was doing a lot of running, I was doing a lot of yoga so that I could stay put, so that I could remain where I was at the time. It sort of became um, an addiction and an out, so that I would bypass the discomforts of staying in the status quo. I would use yoga and running and whatever it was to bypass the stagnation, to sort of release uh, the anger, the resentment, and the sadness that was building up in me. Like, I wouldn't let myself feel it. I would try to transcend it. I would try to uh, resolve it, dissolve it through yoga. Like energetically, right? It works, and it works great until the body tells me no more, which is what it had done uh, with my knees. I mean, perfect timing, which is, I'm grateful for that. So so that's what's been shown to me in meditation. Um, and towards the end, there was a sort of a place where I felt my body I felt my body getting tense again, because I was trying to interpret everything and I was trying to make sense of everything, or even trying to conjure up a connection with the heart. Um, and I could just feel the heart say, just relax into it so I can speak. Relax the body so I can speak. There's so much expectations um, in this communication between the mind, the body, and the heart, that sometimes I feel like I am holding my breath just to force that connection, or just to no, I'm holding my breath because my brain is heavily involved in trying to make that connection work. And when I hold my breath, the rest of my body becomes stiff, and then it starts to tense out naturally. And so there was this time in meditation where I started doing that, and I could just feel the heart go, relax the body so that I could come in. Relax the body so that I could come in. And that really resonates with what I saw and talked about yesterday, how the heart and the guidance, or the heart is really in the microseconds, and the guidance of the heart is really really in the micro moments, and their micro steps. Um, and to sort of swim and flow in each of those microseconds, micro moments. I could feel really is in relaxing the heart and allowing the moment, like allowing the pause when I need it. That's the other thing that I feel like I'm also practicing is uh, allowing the pause. Like there's such an aversion to pauses outside of the sort of the spiritual new age, new thought community. It's like we have to keep going. Even in this video, it's like I have to keep talking because it's content, content, content. I can't pause. And sometimes I just feel the impulse to pause because it's very indicative of whether or not I let myself pause in real life. Yeah, I was feeling the cramp last night and feeling a little directionless, and I could feel my mind still wanting to make myself do things. Like it's not okay to just be okay with that feeling of not wanting to do anything or that feeling of needing to rest. The mind can get in and criticize it, which is okay too. And yet tuning into the heart kind of allows me to see that, allows the choice to be there. And either way I choose is fine. Either I still want to, do something, as in, okay, get up and read. Doesn't matter if you're actually reading or not, just read, that's fine. Or surf the internet, that's fine. But at least there's a sort of, when the heart comes in, there's a choice that, okay, the body wants to pause, and the mind is running the program of let's not pause, let's keep going. Which one do you choose? And there's never a wrong or a right, but the difference being now there's a choice. And so I really don't feel like I can make this video any more profound, so that was this morning's meditation.